weekend. NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. It will be spectacular. For ball, no higher seeded team outright won the head-to-head with the team they're matched up against in the first round. That's something. And for Stanley, the top teams in each conference have the 6th and 7th best odds to win it all. That's another thing. Anything is possible. Let's go around the horn. We start with the NBA. We start out west. I'm looking at the series, and we got drama, we got pressure, we got storylines on storylines. How lucky are we? I love everything about this. From all eyes on the Lakers, of course, with LeBron and Luka versus Minnesota, to the Nuggets, mid-upheaval versus the hot LA Clippers, to Golden State and their relaunch versus the Rockets, who are already in liftoff. And the least talked about one seed ever? I put that out there on you people. You have not nearly talked enough about the Oklahoma City Thunder. So as I asked for the most intriguing round one matchup out west, I go to my most intriguing panelist, David Dennis Jr.
I'll take it. For me, the most intriguing matchup is the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Clippers. On one side, you have the Nuggets, who have the best player in the world. They just got rid of their coach, and despite the year that Jokic is having, he may not get out of the first round. And then on the other side, you have this Clippers team that is this sort of cornucopia of chokes and worry about injuries and who is going to perform in the playoffs, and you're worrying about Harden, who may be able to rewrite his playoff legacy, and Kawhi Leonard, who everybody's waiting to be injured, who may not be injured, who, by the way, this team has only lost 2 games in the last 15, one to the Thunder and another when Kawhi didn't play against Cleveland. They are maybe the hottest team in the West. They might not make it out of the first round. There's going to be one of these 2 teams facing extreme disappointment in about a week and a half, and that's going to change the trajectory of both of these franchises.
Oh, intriguing. Nuggets, Clippers. Courtney Cronin around the horn, too. Most intriguing round one matchup in the West.
Well, it's intriguing. I thought we didn't talk about the Clippers enough for you on the show, Tony. So
that as well.
Diving right in on that. For me, it's a team that's been here before against a team that maybe we're not giving enough credit to. That's the 2-7 matchup, Rockets and Warriors. And you know, we should look at the Rockets as a team that's capable of hanging around with this Golden State Warriors team. They know how to get Steph Curry out of a rhythm. They did it in 2 of their last 3 games against the Warriors, which were wins. And they have a top 5 defense throughout the season. The Warriors, on the other hand, coming off, you know, the game against Memphis in the play-in tournament where they squander a double-digit lead going into halftime, and then they're able to squeak out that win. They show they're a little vulnerable, but at the end of the day, when you take a look at Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, I trust that the Warriors have the guys that you want to get the ball to in crunch time. I don't know if the Rockets are there just yet, but if the Warriors aren't able to make it out of this series, we're talking about a complete disaster after they went out and got Jimmy Butler at the trade line to make a deep playoff run. I do think there's a lot at stake for the Warriors, but I like them in this matchup, and I'm intrigued to see what they do and how they bring it to the Rockets.
Intrigued is the word, Bob. Ryan, I go to you now. One matchup in the West.
To me, in the West, it's a photo of interest between 2 older teams, the Lakers and the Warriors. I'll give it a photo finish lead to the Lakers because Los Angeles Lakers are eternally fascinating to the public. Everybody's intrigued with them. And this year they've added a layer to the whole story as they try to get back to where they once were with the whole Doncic trade, which is working out pretty damn well, in part because LeBron is making it work well by sacrificing his game to the way I thought he could and would. And they've got a 3rd star now in Reeves. People out there are expecting something there, no question. And the Warriors, we all know the Jimmy Butler trade is working out very, very well. And now they're old guys, last hurrah thing. We saw how they got off the other night with 38 from Butler and 37 from Curry, etc. But to me, it's about, you can talk about anybody else, OKC, you can talk about Denver, you can talk about, but it's the Lakers. People care about the Lakers. They hate them or they love them, and it's the Lakers.
All right, the Respect Your Elders portion of the program. Well done, Bob Ryan. And Pablo Torre around the horn to you.
I didn't realize this was a democratic exercise. Like, what are most people intrigued by? Yes, that is correct. Bob Ryan, of course, the oracle of basketball that he is, has it right on that. To me, I go to where we started. I go to the Nuggets, Tony, because I'm looking for what I've never seen before. We've never tested in an experimental way in the postseason what it means to fire your head coach right before you're supposed to go on a finals run. With a player in Nikola Jokic, by the way, whose on-off court numbers are so dramatic as to suggest that maybe the Nuggets and their replacement GM, of course replacing the GM they fired, Calvin Booth, might actually believe that the real coach on the floor is that guy, is Jokic himself. And so to me, we're going to get some real answers to big picture questions. What does coaching really matter when it comes to the postseason? How good can a player on the floor be when it comes to X's and O's and scheming up everything? And then on the other side, you just happen to have the guy that we like to say resembles physiologically Michael Jordan when he's healthy, but oftentimes isn't healthy enough to even be in the factor of a conversation. So to me, Clippers, Nugs, I am watching.
I'm interested in the pressure points here now, and I want to ask more specifically, Bob Ryan, I'll start with you. The player with the most pressure on them going into this round one matchup.
I think it's Doncic because he is not a perfect player. He's a guaranteed, almost guaranteed triple-double. But what the big technical question for the Lakers is, will they be able to cover him up on defense? How much will people be able to exploit his legendarily woeful defense? And that's going to be a big question, so I think it's Doncic.
Doncic for you, Pablo Torre?
I think it's Jimmy Butler individually.
Oh, you do?
The guy you get because of the postseason. No, I think it's because you get him for the postseason, and now it's time. Hey, was he worth all of the trouble he went through, to get out of where he was in Miami? And now, guess what? It's time to prove
David?
Afternoon Joe makes a good point, but I'm going to stick with the series that I'm talking about here, and that is Kawhi Leonard. This guy who everybody's been talking about for the last 5 years, been perpetually injured. You don't believe in him come playoff time, and he has been as healthy as he's been for the last half decade. And I don't know how many more chances he has of having a playoff run.
So in round
like
one,
this.
you think there's the most pressure on Kawhi Leonard. And Courtney Cronin around the horn to you.
I'll talk about the player from the team that we haven't talked about, the probable MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The early exit last year, a lot of people looking at this Thunder team, criticizing the fact that they don't have deep playoff experience. If you're going to win the MVP, you got to be able to get your team out of the
round
first
one,
round on a deep playoff run.
And there is a panelist on the show actually acknowledging the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thank you very much for that, Courtney Cronin. Real quick, I want some picks going into the weekend. I know we're going to only have a month to talk about round one and round two and everything beyond in this NBA playoffs, but one pick you're sure of in this first round out west. Courtney Cronin around the horn to you.
I am sure that Luka Doncic and his scouting ability are going to give the Los Angeles Lakers the formula that they need.
So you've got the Lakers, the 3 over the 6 in the first round. David, Dennis Jr., how about you? A guarantee?
I'm going to go with who you're saying. We're not talking about OKC in a clean sweep. Does not matter who they're facing in the first round. 4 games in and out, a lot of rest.
One guarantee.
In the second round.
That felt like real pandering from David, given that he was thinking he was saying it. I believe that the Lakers will handle the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Why did you say it with so much drama there? I don't know. And Bob Ryan, how about you?
I'll have what David's having. It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Okay. Sweet for OKC. We'll move on. The Eastern Conference has got an obvious pecking order played out through 82 games. You know Cleveland is the best. You know Boston is the defending champ. They're the 2 favorites in the conference. Pressure on them. Number 3, Knicks haven't beaten either of the teams above them in conference all year. They've beaten everybody else. There's tension with that team, and Pacers, Bucks, the intriguing 4-5. Indianapolis is favored. Indiana, excuse me. Milwaukee now clearing Lillard to play, but he will not play game 1. But there's expectations on that franchise as well. I ask you, Mr. Bob Ryan, who has the most pressure on them in round 1 in the Eastern Conference?
Oh, I think it's the Lakers, the Celtics to repeat. I think because they're going in almost perfectly healthy with the possible exception of Jaylen Brown's knee, and he's got a week to get ready.